time for the big boys, the defensive tackles. Let's get it. What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. MicroMike, and I am doing a 4th of July special when talking about the Detroit Lions defensive tackle position and the depth chart and how I see it going. So it's the 4th of July, man, so I figured throw on my old uniform. The last uniform that I wore was in 2009, and it was this one. It's not the current uniform that soldiers wear because I was never issued that one. So, before I jump into the video, I just want to express to you and all the veterans out there, thank you so much for serving your country. You're putting your life on the line. And for the spouses, thank you for helping out your spouses through such a tumultuous job you have. You know, as you know, if you have spouses or friends or family that ever served their country, it is not just about serving the individual, it's the individual's family as well, because they have to deal with everything that goes with it. So thank you so much for serving our country, and everyone please have a happy 4th of July. Spend it with your family, get those fireworks going, and a little patriotism, right? So I will break down my uniform really quick before I get tons of questions asked about it. I was a sergeant, you could tell, sergeant. I was part of Charlie Troop, 1st of the 126 Cav, and initially I was a 19 kilo and Abrams tank crewman, so I drove Abrams tanks, A1 and A2, and when the tanks got taken out of the state of Michigan, I ended up joining the infantry, 11 Bravo, and so I loved both jobs. I absolutely loved driving the tanks. I thought it was so awesome to have a tank go and how crazy it is, how it feels. It's like driving a quad that can fly sometimes, man, because it is so electric and it can jump. And the main weapon on that thing, when it shoots, there's nothing like it, man. There's no firework out there in the world that can express to you how awesome it is to shoot off the main gun of a tank. And I absolutely loved it. And when I was in the infantry, I loved ground pound, I loved kicking in doors and all that fun stuff that goes with it. Absolutely loved it. There's nothing like learning how to clear rooms and buildings and communicate with a team effectively than being in the infantry. And I absolutely was one of my favorite jobs that I ever did. And when I went to Iraq, I was actually a ASV driver, a truck commander, so I commanded a truck, and ASV is kind of in between what a tank is and a Humvee, and it was absolutely fun. I loved it. The speed, the absolute power that it brings, there's nothing like it, man. Having that 50 cal up there, the main gun, ain't nobody want to mess with you with that. And it was an awesome time, and I'm so very proud that I had the opportunity to serve my country and go overseas. So everyone out there who has served your country, thank you so much for the sacrifice that you gave, because a lot of people gave something, but some gave all, and I absolutely, truly appreciate you serving your country and your family members. I know J-Mo's father is a veteran as well, and I thank him and his family for their service to our country. Absolutely nothing like it, and much respect to everybody that's ever wore this uniform. With that said, folks, let's jump into the defensive tackle position. I love this position. It's the big boys, the meat of the line, and they are the individuals that give the quarterback hell. And so, how I see this thing playing out is, again, like my other videos I've done, we have to go and look to see how the past is when it comes to the amount of defensive tackles that they have had on a roster through 16, 17, 18, and how I believe it's going to go down this year, 19. So predominantly, you had 4 individuals. I have 5 because coincidentally, one of our defensive tackles is actually considered a defensive end, even though he's utilized in defensive tackle spot a lot. And so we'll break this thing down. So let's go ahead and cut the individuals who I don't see making the team. The first individual is Dario Kilgo, and he's go ahead and cut him off the team. I don't see him making the team. The next one is Kevin Strong Jr. Go ahead and cut that guy. He is a goner. And also Ray Smith. Now, the individuals are off the team. The individuals are now off the team, so let's go ahead and jump into the practice squad individual. Now, the person that I have for the practice squad was a draft pick last year, the 7th round, and that is an individual who is almost a replica when it comes to size to our greatest defensive tackle on our team, and that is Mr. P.J. Johnson. Now, P.J. Johnson was a 7th round pick last year. He is 6'4", 335 pounds. He is a big, big man, and he fills that space. Now, last year he had 22 solo tackles, 9 assists, 31 total, 3 sacks. He was an individual that gave quarterbacks a lot of issues and a lot of offensive line issues. However, we have a lot of talent when it comes to the defensive tackle position. Thus, we won't have the ability to have him on our team. He'll be competing with another individual, but as a 7th round pick and the talent that we have, I put him on the practice squad so he can contribute, helping out the practice squad, helping out the main roster, get ready for games. Now, could he eventually get sent to the main roster? Absolutely he can, especially when it comes to injuries and other facts that come into that. Maybe another individual does not pan out, is what we kind of see how it goes down in the regular season, and he could definitely get called up. But I really do like P.J. Johnson. I think he was a great pick for a 7th rounder. He will contribute at some point on this team, but not right now because we got a lot of talent. Now, the next individual I have who does make the team is number 99, defensive tackle, John Atkins. Now, he had 2 tackles, 0 sack. He is an individual who is fairly big, okay? He is 6'3", he is 320 pounds. He is another big fella in the middle, and we got him from the New England Patriots. Now, I see him making the roster simply because he has a past with the New England Patriots. He is a big body to fill, as he's a veteran and not a rookie. So I see the Lions keeping him over P.J. Johnson. Now, we're going to get to the individuals we currently all know, and that is Mr. Shaun Robinson. He is a next defensive tackle on the team. Now, he had 49 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and he's been on our team for some time. Do I see that he can have a great season? He could. Can I see him having a season? He can. Now, this is an individual that we've had on the roster. He's been good with us the last couple of years, but last year was a little bit iffy. He started a little slow, but he picked up. And that can be contributed to Snacks Harrison and Deshaun Hand, who are very, very talented and are masterful when it comes to the defensive tackle position. And I absolutely love the depth that we currently have. Now, Shaun Robinson, this is a big year for him. It's probably a make or break year, whether he be on the Detroit Lions after this year. We shall see. He's got to make some progress this year and really show himself if he wants to be on the Detroit Lions for years to come. Now, the next individual I have is one of the best draft picks that Bob Quinn made, 4th round last year, and that is Deshaun Hand. He is labeled a defensive end, but I'm throwing him in the defensive tackle position because I can do that. This is my show. So, with that said, he is 6'3", he's 297 pounds, he's a little slimmer, but he is a straight beast, as he was the best defensive tackle out of all rookie defensive tackle last year, and we got him in the 4th round. Also, he has potential to make the Pro Bowl this year, and sky's the limit for him. He literally could be the next Ndamukong Suh on our team if he continues to progress like we think he can. He is a straight beast, an animal, and he gives terror to offensive linemen, and he gives terror to quarterbacks. I love the guy. He's multi-dimensional. He can play on the end. He can play in the middle, and he can disrupt the progress that any offense tries to do. And he's an individual I see potentially being Pro Bowl, as well as being a long cure for the Detroit Lions and being on our team not just for the next couple years, but for years to come. I absolutely love Deshaun Hand. Now, the last individual, who is, I think, everybody's favorite defensive tackle. He is a beast on and off the field. He's very respectable. He's an individual who played every single game last year, and that is Mr. Damien Harrison and or Snacks Harrison. He is such a beast. He stops the run like no other. He's the best in the league. He has helped our other defensive tackles go up. He can take on double teams. He smokes fools, and he can sack as well. It's crazy. So he had 81 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and he is an individual that seems to never be off the field because he's just on there and continually working. He was on the Giants last year, got traded, went to Detroit to us, and was still the best run stuffer in all the league. When he came on our team, it made such a huge difference. Our stopping the run went from absolutely garbage trash to top of the league. He is an amazing talent. Now, the issue that we got going on with Snacks Harrison is he wants a new contract. He was traded from the Giants to Detroit, and he skipped OTAs, as we all know, and he wants to have a new contract. I do not see him holding out in camp. I see him coming to training camp, continually to work, but he's still got 2 years on his contract. Do I see us extending him? I can see us extending him. Do I see us not extending him? I can see that as well, because it just all comes to how other talent develops. Can PJ Johnson develop well as well? I don't know. He is literally the same size as PJ Johnson, and that could eventually be Snacks Harrison's replacement in the next couple of years. But I would advise the Lions to go ahead and extend Snacks Harrison because, again, he is so valuable to this team. I understand he's a little bit older at 30, but he's still going to have an impact 3 years from now. I think he is that much of a strong player that he can be an impact player at the age of 34. I mean, he's that good because he's so big and he's got great handwork as well as he's big. I mean, that's his attribute. He is slippery fast for a big man, but he's so big that he stops the run and plugs the hole. So he can still contribute when he's older, and I absolutely love Snacks Harrison. I do see him coming in training camp because this is not an issue with the Detroit Lions. He wanted a contract extension when he was with the Giants, and so ultimately he wants one with us. Now, he's a good person on and off the field. You've heard nothing but good things about Snacks Harrison. He's not complaining like other individuals that want a contract extension like Darius Slay. He is straight, wants the ability to be on a team and probably finish his career with Detroit. And that's a good thing. I want him to finish his career with us because he's a great player and he is a good individual for our team. That said, folks, again, spend your time with your family today on the 4th of July. We gained our independence many years ago because many people said, no, we're not going to take no beef from a king anymore. We want to be our own nation. It's our nation's birthday. No matter what's going on with politics, no matter what's going on with other issues when it comes to the United States, there's a lot of individuals that gave up their life and or sacrificed for the freedoms that we all have currently right now, who's served and years past. So spend time with your family, eat some hamburgers, and enjoy the fireworks. And folks, enjoy it with your family because this is a great time to have off and spend time with your family. I will be having Subscriber Friday tomorrow, so make sure that you come in on Subscriber Friday and you guys run the show. I answer any questions you want related to the Detroit Lions. I have special guests on, and it is a fun event to do. On Tuesday, I will be hosting the roundtable for the Detroit Sports Alliance to give you guys the information that you want. And folks, it's going to be a fire show. Trust me, it's going to be a show you do not want to miss. With that said, folks, adios.